So let's talk about how mad people can be. And I mean this with kindness, but 2% of the population are interesting bunnies, is a polite way of saying it. So we've touched on it yesterday, Sheehan, it came out a little bit in your presentation. We've had some case studies we've talked through already. You know, we talked about the Marlborough house where it was very sad to watch the girlfriend apologize for her boyfriend's behavior even when she wasn't there. That rang loads of alarm bells, but because I've seen it, unfortunately, 10 or 20 times before, I knew immediately, I'm afraid we can't have that near us, which was clear professional boundary setting. So psychology, boundary setting, inappropriate transference. So we're going to have some clear boundary setting, which, Sheehan, as you saw, as you develop your boundaries, as you develop your experience, you're going to naturally put in some boundaries and then start to recognize patterns. Whereas that was a one-off originally, so that felt probably very hurtful. To me, because I've seen that 10, 20, 30 times, that's simply a pattern. And then, so we saw you experiencing it almost for the first time and being deeply upset, and quite rightly so. Then we saw Tina having experienced it a number of times with her, I'll give you a little bit more leeway than Susannah, but don't fuck with Tina. So she's already being very clear with them. She'll be decent, but there is a line over which she won't cross. And then I'm just, no. It's just 100% no. It's sold as seen, no. Can you move furniture? No. Can I drill walls? No. Can my girlfriend move in? No. Unless the license allows it. Can I swap a single bed for a double bed for a single bed? No. Can I have a desk? No. I'd like to move out early? No. It's just no. Because I've got, you know, we've done 1,300 viewings, something like that already. We're busy. Like, if we say yes, it's too complicated on a large scale portfolio. Mate, go to IKEA and buy a 39 quid desk yourself. You know, because the problem is, somebody's just moved in and we've got a fridge, can you take the fridge away? No, because where do I store it? Where do I store it? And when they move out, you know, in 2 years' time, do we remember that that fridge isn't ours and now we have to find another fridge and then I have to, it's too complicated. No, just no every time. So what will happen often when people move in, and I mean this kindly, I don't mean like I'm actually comparing a human being to a dog, but it's the best explanation. You know how dogs, when they settle in their basket, they sometimes walk around their basket 2 or 3 times, and they're just kind of going, this is where I live. And that to me is a really good analogy. What tenants do when they first move in is they go, let me check the boundaries. This is, you know, it's a home to them, so it's terribly important to them. So of course they're assessing where the boundaries are. They're just going, well, this isn't quite right, and I kind of want this. And the answer is no from me, maybe from Tina, and possibly used to be yes and now no from Sheehan. And they're just checking that everything's comfortable within the basket. So I understand the behavior, I'm still saying no, because it doesn't work for my business. So if you can think in a kind way that tenants are just doing that whole dog basket circle and making themselves feel at home. You remember when you move into a new house, you kind of just go from room to room a bit, don't you? And you're like, woo, this is home. And you're pushing and you're checking, and that's what's going on. So normally they're not trying to be rude, they're just establishing their home and understanding where the boundaries are and making themselves comfortable. My boundaries are just clear. It's sold as seen. Inappropriate transference. Who gave those tenants shelter previously? Now, I don't like to take a tenant straight from their parents' house. I need the tenant to learn how to live with other people or on their own first. So if they're saying I'm moving out of my mum and dad's house, no, I'm not interested in taking you. But generally, the people that have given them food and shelter for the last 18 years are their parents. And so, you know that triangle, parent, child, adult, that goes on, and there's a psychological triangle about, are you the parent? And as soon as you become the parent, they become a child. If they stay in child, they're trying to force you back to parent, and you want to be staying in adult. Or if they're an adult, you can stay in adult. So as soon as they stay, I'm in child, you know, you're looking after me because you're providing me shelter, they're trying to move you to parent. Well, the answer is I'm adult. I'm on a contractual arrangement with you. I expect you to be an adult and keep my houses nice and tidy, and I expect me to be an adult and keep my houses in very good repair. That's the contract, the adult contract we've got. A significant number of young people will try and move to child and throw tantrums, particularly when they've done something that isn't adult to adult contractual, trying to force you to parent. So